Welcome to the Odd Dad Out podcast, where normal is not my specialty. This week, I am talking vacations on the Mom and Dad Cuss podcast. That's right, it's another crossover with my other show, because it's a lot easier to come back from vacation and kill two birds with one stone. So, for any of you out there who don't listen, this is a great show. I honestly think it's the better of the two. But until next week, you can always hit me up on Facebook and Twitter at Odd Dad Out and email your comments or questions or suggestions or smack talk to me at oddadout@gmail.com. And I will see you guys all next week. Hello.
Hello.
This is the Mom and Dad Cuss podcast. I'm Adam.
I'm Rihanna.
And this is the show where we share our experience raising our four crazy boys with no sugarcoating whatsoever.
Clinically insane. Well, I mean, they haven't been diagnosed, but they really should be.
I was going to say us or them.
Ooh. Good point.
Okay. It's been a few weeks.
Has it?
It has, because we went on vacation.
We did.
We did. I know, it's all a blur now, isn't it?
I don't remember anything. What's today?
Officially, right now, it's Sunday.
Boo.
We're recording on Sunday. That means you have work tomorrow.
I have to go to work tomorrow.
Having to go back to work tomorrow aside, we've been back home for a week.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're back used to it. But
I'm never used to it.
no, you just don't want to go. It's work.
There's
Nobody
that.
wants to go to work. But aside from not wanting to go to work because, you know, you're human, how have you been, dear?
Sick.
Oh, yeah, there's...
No, I'm good. You know, I got back from vacation and I'm dealing with allergies on top of readjusting to drier climate, on top of not enough sleep in the world can recover anybody from that drive.
Okay. Refresh those. I don't remember if we mentioned where we were going, but we live in Surprise, Arizona, which is basically way outside of Phoenix. And we took our vacation down to a bit in San Antonio and Corpus Christi, Texas, which is, 1,100 miles one way?
Something like that.
Something like that. And we drove.
In a van.
Straight through.
Yep.
No hotels.
No hotels.
So-
Although, that is my biggest complaint and my biggest goal for next year is that we are going to get a hotel room in like Las Cruces or Fort Stockton or something.
Somewhere halfway we gotta stop.
Oh, yeah.
Officially, El Paso's halfway.
Driving out there, I don't want to stay in El Paso. That's not happening. Driving out there, I feel like wasn't so bad.
Yeah, I don't know why, but yeah, it wasn't so bad the trip out.
Back was...
That's always harder.
Like, dragging ourselves across a bed of nails. It was just...
It was miserable driving back.
It was god-awful. I think my last Facebook update from the road was, you know, we're still alive, we're still trekking, we're getting there in horrible time, and no, I'm not going to post a picture because we're all in rough shape.
Yeah.
I think Bug at that point was like sans pants, had no pants because he'd spilled everything. You know, I was swelling up and my hair was nasty and greasy and gross and we were both sweaty and gross and, you know, Charlie and Damien were fighting and wanted to like bite each other's throats off and Sammy was screaming the whole time because he was just fucking sick of his car seat.
Yeah. And then here's the thing, is that officially that trip should take about 16 hours, give or take.
Yeah.
I think because we stopped to eat on the way, the trip out took about 18 hours.
Yeah, and we made good time on the way out. We made realistic time.
Like, okay, you know, bathroom breaks, time to stop.
Kids.
4 kids, stop to feed the kid, you know, stop for meals, stop to feed Sam, change diapers, all that stuff. But the trip back,
it's just fucking brutal.
took 23 hours.
It really did. When we finally got on the road and we're like, okay, whatever, because we had to stop to see family members on the way out. So we stopped, we saw them, finally got on the road from that and GPS'd it, and we were supposed to get home at 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
We didn't get home until close to 11.
I think it was 11:30. It was almost noon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's that, 6?
Just 23, yeah. Oh. Yeah.
5 hours?
Yeah, it was off by about 5 hours.
Yeah. That we added to our trip from bathroom breaks, having to stop to just let the boys run, to just shut up, just go.
Get their energy
go run.
out because...
Just go run back and forth. I don't care what you do. Just go run up and down the sidewalk.
Here, run circles around the picnic tables at this rest stop.
Yeah. And then, stopping to feed them and feed Sam, and then changing drivers because we were both falling asleep, and then just having to flat out pull over and try to nap because we were both falling asleep.
Yeah. Which we didn't have to do on the way out, which always surprises me, is that when we drive out there originally, we can usually maybe 2 switches, and we can both drive for a few hours before we have to switch.
Yeah, and I really think that these past 2 years, that's been, we can attribute that to the time that we leave.
Yeah. Because
we don't leave first thing in the morning or last thing at night.
Yeah.
We get up, we get on with our day, and then we go. Which has worked really well for us, I think. In terms of getting us out there safely. We're both safely driving. We're not, dragging ourselves and having to fight to make it to the next exit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my goal for next year's hotel room on the way back. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, because when we were on the way back, it seemed like we'd drive for an hour and a half and just can't, and got to stop or got to switch. And it's neither of us could keep going anymore.
Yeah, it was bad.
Especially in the overnight hours got really bad.
Yeah.
I just remember the last stop we made is we crossed the border into Arizona. It was about 5:15, 5:30 because we left Saturday morning and it was Sunday morning, and we crossed over the border from New Mexico to Arizona, we stopped at the little rest stop right there. Mm-hmm. You were completely out.
I don't even remember stopping.
Yeah.
There was a whole stop where apparently you changed everybody, you fed Sam, you did all this stuff, and I think we all stopped and took a nap too, and I don't recall this at all.
Yeah. It's we stopped there, and then, I got out. I took the older boys, they all had their bathroom breaks. I went and changed the little boys. I fed Sam. I gave all the boys little bags of Cheerios for the road. Here is tentative breakfast.
Yeah.
Here is, breakfast snack. And all right, let's get on the road. And I remember we left that rest stop at 6 a.m.
Which was when we were supposed to.
Which is when we should have been home. And that was just crossing the border, which meant we pretty much had to cross 3/4 of Arizona still, diagonally.
Yeah.
But I did not stop again until we got home.
Yeah.
I will say the best thing about driving my van is that it gets great gas mileage, and the tank helps. That we can drive from our home where we are to El Paso, which is about 8 hours on a single tank.
Yeah.
And we filled up, I think it was on Las Cruces or in El Paso, where we filled up last, and it made it all the way home. And I was like, oh, good, I'm not stopping again.
Yeah.
I just knew from once we crossed the border, it's okay, I've got most of a tank. We're not stopping again.
Yeah,
everybody is situated.
Power through it.
Yeah, power through it. I don't care. I'm tired, but you know what? The sun's coming up and it's blinding me. I can do this.
Yeah.
I'm solar powered right now.
And, to everybody who's sitting there thinking, oh, well, why don't you guys just fly? It's fucking expensive for a family of 6, okay?
It's expensive to fly anywhere for anything right now.
It
never
really
mind
is.
a family of 6.
And not even just right now. It's always been expensive to fly. When you consider that, it took us 2 or 3 tanks of gas, which cost us total $200.
See,
maybe
it's like $120, $130. Because prices are actually pretty good this summer, but yeah.
So, okay, max $300.
Yeah, we spent about $300 on gas.
Which is what you would pay for one person for one round-trip ticket.
Yeah. Depending on the airline and how far out did you book this trip.
Exactly. So, yes, it sucks and it's grueling and it's brutal, but I don't have to be the mom who's got 4 screaming kids on an airplane. I don't have to try to keep them in their seat. Well, I mean, I have to keep them in their seat, but I can play whatever DVDs. We can stop whenever we want. We're
not disturbing other society with our children. Like, they might be screaming and yelling and hollering, but they're doing it inside our car.
Yeah, like, we're used to it. I can deal with Damien's screechy bat noises. I don't think other people can. They might jump out of the plane.
They'd certainly try.
We
don't need that responsibility. I'm pretty sure we'd face some charges. We get on an airplane with Damien. He starts throwing a tantrum. Somebody tries to jump out of the plane. We go to jail. That's all I'm saying. That's
about how that would end.
That's the outcome there.
But no, I think we had... And we even said, this year vacation was really nice.
This would, all around. This was our most successful vacation.
Yeah, and I mean, this is
vacationed.
What, our 5th, maybe 6th one that we've taken?
6th year making this trip.
Yeah. And the past years, it's been get there and just kind of sleep.
Yeah,
and
we've
not
had
really do anything.
Not a lot of planning when we've gone out. It's primarily been go back and hang out with our family, because
you said for planning. Sorry.
For planning, not for playing. Jeez, pervert.
You knew this when you married me.
I know. But it's basically just been, my dad lives in San Antonio. Yours lives out in the middle of fucking nowhere, north of Corpus Christi. And so,
jeez,
Sinton, Texas is in the middle of fucking nowhere.
It's on the maps.
So is Morenci, but the town technically doesn't exist.
Whatever.
It's technically not a town, and that's where I was born.
Good for you.
So anyway, yeah. But we basically, our whole point of going back was simply to basically visit our parents.
Yes.
And visit our family that's out there. And in years past, it's very much been, okay, we're going to go out and we're going to be here.
And we're just here.
That's it. We're here. And we've probably spent 2 years where we literally spent all the time in Corpus. We literally just spent hanging out at your dad's, watching TV with your dad.
Yeah. Which is nice. It's, it's nice. I love it.
And he is one of those people. It's like, I can just sit there and we can just sit there and chat.
Yeah.
And he could be sitting there, and it's really funny because he is one of those guys who watches a lot of TV, and he DVRs a lot of shit.
Yes, he
and
does.
he will he'll pull up a commercial that he just like, oh my god, you got to see this commercial with this kid.
But I don't know. Years past has always just been kind of sitting there at his house or sitting at whoever's house and just not really getting out and doing anything.
Yeah,
which turns into a lot of cabin fever.
Yeah.
And a lot of, I'm going to slap these children if I have to look at them again because, oh my god, they're driving me fucking nuts.
And also there's been the steady increase in the number of children in the vehicle.
Well, yeah.
The past 6 years ago, it was just us.
Out, and every time we've gone out, I've been pregnant.
Yeah,
not this time. Hallelujah.
Yeah, it was like 6 years ago, it was just you, me, and Charlie in the Corolla.
Yeah. Jeez. Yeah.
And
then it was you, me, Damien, and Charlie in the Corolla.
There was a year we rented a car to go back. We rented a car the first year. Then we just got the Corolla the second year. Because all we had was my Escort. Yeah, we had that beat-up Escort that was not going to make that trip.
Crazy. Oh, that car.
It's like a 91, 92.
The year was not the bad thing about the car.
Not the white one, the silver one. The white one barely made it
the
here.
Better one.
The better one. It was a year newer, and it had 2 intact doors. Not the Escort that I was
literally begging people to steal.
Yes.
Please.
Not the one that was hit by a truck and never fixed. That didn't have a passenger side.
Please take my car.
Yeah, not that car. The good Escort, but. Okay. The one that we actually traded in eventually.
Yeah.
That trip.
All of this is going to get cut out because no one cares.
But it's just been like every year, you're either
consistently
pregnant
adding children.
either pregnant or adding a kid.
But this year it was really nice. Like, we actually got to, we went to San Antonio first to see your half of the family that's out there. And we actually had stuff planned. We weren't just sitting there or sitting in a hotel room, sitting in, whoever's house or wherever, not doing anything. We had stuff planned. We did stay with family. We didn't stay in a hotel, which it was nice. It worked out really well.
And I have a bigger, the last 2 years we've stayed with my brother.
Yeah.
And last year they were in a 1-bedroom apartment, and now they're in a bigger apartment, and so there was more room, especially since there were more kids.
Yeah. Because they have a baby, which, they had her last year, but
she was a baby last year. Now she's 2. Almost. She's pushing 2.
Yeah, but so we stayed with them, and we actually had stuff planned. Like, we were going to go to a splash park. We went to the zoo. Went to Peter Piper, which I was not thrilled about. I hate places like that. I really do. I think they're just... Yeah.
Chuck E. Cheese, Peter Piper, not your best friends. I understand.
I just don't.
Okay, I don't understand it. I just have to accept it.
I just don't like them. I don't see the point. I know that kids love it, but it's like letting your kid watch SpongeBob. Yeah, they like it, but ew.
It's not really the best thing for them, but they enjoy it.
We went.
And it's not technically damaging.
Yeah, okay. You say that until the kid gets damaged. But we had stuff to do. And so that was really fun, and it wasn't like every day go, go, go. It was, we're going to go do this one day. Yeah,
everybody had like a thing planned for each day rather than we've got 10 things going on and we're rushing from place to place to place.
Right.
Because then you get burnout. You go from cabin fever to just straight burnout.
Yeah, to just now vacation is working.
Yeah. And then your sister graduated too. So
my little sister graduated. We went to Corpus. After we were in San Antonio, we went down to Corpus, and we did stay in a hotel room there. Really, the only thing we did there was the aquarium, and then my little sister's graduation day, which we had like a lunch, and her graduation. It was really rainy there, so there wasn't a whole lot that we could have done anyway.
Yeah. By the time we were at that point of the trip, the weather wasn't great.
Yeah.
We were kind of fighting it in San Antonio, but we lucked out. Most of the rain was like early morning or late at night where it didn't affect us.
But I feel like next year, the Corpus leg of the trip will be a lot better because, we always go to the aquarium and it's kind of always the same stuff. Well, next year they're going to have their new expansion open and it's going to be really cool. We'll probably still be able to go to the splash park. This year we didn't get to go to the splash park because I was worried that it was going to rain, number one. And number two, we got kicked out of the hotel. Well, we didn't get kicked out of the hotel room. We had to evacuate the hotel room.
That was a fun little bit of the trip. That was our second day there.
That was the second day there. And as we're getting ready, and it's like as we're getting ready to head out to the aquarium, the fucking
smoke
detector alarm starts going off, and we're like, what? And then
it was like vaguely going off. It'd like beep like twice and then just stop for a minute.
Well, and then it would stop, and we were like, oh, okay, we're good. And then it would start going off again. We're like, oh shit, should we go? So I called down to the front desk. I'm like, do we need to go? And the girl, I felt so bad for her because obviously she was like...
She's probably getting
screening all these calls.
And probably making calls, trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, she obviously had no clue what it was because she tells me, yeah, probably just to be safe.
Yeah, so just clear the floor just to be safe.
And so we go out, and I assumed what I saw was like this haze. I thought it was smoke coming out of one of the like branched off hallways on the second floor.
Just so we don't get all this, oh my god, you guys are so fucking stupid. The fire alarm went off and you guys didn't just pick up and evacuate. Why did you stop to think about it? I looked out in the hall. Because the alarm was so sporadic, I looked out in the hall. Not a single person had come out of their room. The halls there was no sign of movement. You didn't hear anybody. There was no panic. Everybody was still in the same, what's going on? Do we need to leave?
Yeah, well,
the alarm
like I said,
was not
it sounded like a glitch.
Sure thing. Yeah, it sounded like a glitch. It sounded like there was a problem in the alarm system.
Right. And so that's why I called down and she was like, yeah, you better just to be safe. So we did. But as we're leaving, we look off to one of the little, like, side hallways that branches off, and there's this haze, which I assumed was smoke. And I was like, oh, crap. floor is on fire. Fuck, let's go.
There must be something.
Luckily, we had grabbed, our big diaper bag, which I love. It holds enough for all 4 of the boys to have everything they could possibly need. And there's still room for, mine and your stuff.
Yeah.
So we had that. We were all mostly dressed for the day. I think you needed...
Yeah, I was the only one that wasn't actually dressed. I still basically had pajamas on.
Yeah.
I just slipped
You were decent.
I was decent. I wasn't running out naked or anything, but I basically was still in pajamas where everybody else, because we were in process of getting everybody dressed. So everybody was dressed but me.
Yeah.
Because that's just my mentality.
That's just how it works. Everybody else gets dressed and then you get dressed.
Then I get dressed.
But, so we were all, decent, ready to go-ish for the day, but I hadn't grabbed their swimsuits or anything like that to be able to go to the splash pad at the aquarium. But we get out, whatever, we go drive around for a little bit because I don't want to just stand outside with the boys because that would have sucked.
Yeah, it's we just immediately went and just got in the van, sit there and wait, listen to some music. Okay, what's going on? Oh, there's a fire truck.
Yeah, and at that point we were like, all right, well, let's just go do our day. So we went to the aquarium, and we didn't get to go to the splash pad, but I think next year we should be pretty okay as long as, weather permitting, whatever.
Yeah, Sammy will be older, so he should be walking around, and it'll be fun.
Yeah. So, yeah, I really think, this year is going to be the year to base subsequent years off of, because this year worked really well.
Yeah. We had every day
financially
pretty much was planned with something. Yeah, and that was the other thing. This is probably we successfully vacationed this year.
Really, we did.
Because we had a budget and we actually stuck to it.
And I really think that having it on those gift cards helped.
Yeah.
Because what I did was...
Pro tip moment.
Yeah, pro tip. I went to the bank and, I could have gone to the dollar store. I think they're cheaper at the dollar store. But I think I got them for free anyway, so whatever. Yay. # employee benefits. And I got 2 of the prepaid Visa gift cards. One for gas, one for everything else. And I just, we had already set this amount was going to be for gas.
We need $300 at least to cover gas.
Right, which is what we did. And then everything else that we had saved for the trip was, okay, well, this is our just spending fun money, whatever, groceries, whatever for the week.
Yeah, so you basically had we had the trip budget pretty much. Okay, this is the money set aside for the trip. So the hotel room that we stayed in Corpus was paid for that. And the car repairs that we had to do before that all came out of trip budget.
Yeah.
But aside from that, but everything, $300 for gas, card A, everything else that was left, which was about $500 went on that other card.
Yep. And so those are our 2. And having those really helped because then we didn't touch our credit cards. We didn't touch our, regular checking debit card. Yeah.
Didn't go to the bank for anything.
Yeah. We didn't, hit any ATMs. And everybody takes Visas, so it worked really well. Yeah. And you could even
the aquarium tickets.
Yeah, we bought the aquarium tickets. I bought them online because it was cheaper to buy them online. And you just entered the gift card like it's a credit card. Yeah. And so everything worked out really, really well with that.
You went shopping with the little fancy, what's the store? Lush. You went and got more.
Oh my God, you guys. Let me just tell you about our solid shampoo because I'm freaking in love. Shut the hell up.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Okay, another pro tip for travel. This is
tip.
This is legit. Okay, I make fun of her for the oh my God moment, but
it's legit.
Seriously, this is a legit pro tip. It's a little expensive. How much is this stuff? $18?
So no, not even. It was 12.
I was like, oh, not even. It's a third more. Anyway. Math. But yeah, the Lush solid shampoo. This sounds really dumb, but this is probably the best idea for travel ever.
It so totally is. And I found out from a coworker who actually was super excited that we're getting a new Lush store in Glendale. She was like, oh, I use their solid shampoo. It's called Scenic. And my husband just loves it because of how it makes my hair smell. And She's hilarious.
I hope she doesn't sound like that, because I think she might get upset.
I mean, she kind of does, but I love Sammy to death. We're both very blonde when it comes to like girly stuff.
Okay.
So we both turn into.
You're not blonde.
No, we both turn into that. Like, oh my god, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, just like you did. Anyway,
just like I did. That's us at work. You should hear it. It's hilarious. Our boss gets so mad. You work in a
call center. That's bad.
Well, I'm not on the phones.
She works in a call center. That's really
We're not on the phones.
Okay.
But, yeah, so she was telling me about this solid shampoo, and I was like, you know what? That sounds like a freaking fantastic idea. I'm going to look this up. And so I looked it up, and they were honestly the only company that I could find that actually had it. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I'll go ahead and buy from them. But I wanted to do kind of a poll. I knew that our niece, Jacinda, likes Lush because I've seen her talk about Lush on Facebook before. So I asked her on Facebook, I was like, hey, what do you think of the solid shampoos?
Like, hey,
and which
slug.
one? And which one do you like? I don't hit our family members. That's you. And so she recommended one, and then MG, your sister, oldest sister-in-law.
Yeah, her mom.
My sister-in-law. Your sister. Chimed in and was like, yes, that one or this one. And I was like, okay, cool. So I looked up some YouTube reviews and found out how to use it. And I was like, all right, yeah, I'm totally down. So I went and I bought it.
The point here, she had to look up a YouTube video for how to use shampoo.
It's a solid shampoo. I was like, how does this work? Do you like break some off in your hand and scrub? What do you do? So I went online and I bought it and got here and all was well. And
it looks like a green hockey puck.
Kind of.
In a little tin.
Yeah. So I got the Scenic one, which has sea salt for body. It's got...
For your hair, not your body.
I'm gonna fucking kick you. It's got Irish something seaweed. Yes, it's actually got chunks of actual seaweed.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And like some other stuff too.
It's got lots of stuff, and it's got like seaweed and sea salt and
which I thought was totally fitting for vacation because we're going to South Texas. We're going to be near the water. I was like, yay, we'll do this. And it'll be like beachy and so cool. Yay. Because I'm a nerd. So I got that. And basically all you do is you get your hair wet and you rub the bar. Just like
give it like a couple of passes. It's not even like don't sit there like you're trying to build a lather with the bar. You just basically just wipe, like give it a couple of.
You just swipe back a few times.
Yeah.
In rows, and then just put it down and scrub your hair, and it's fantastic.
Enough on there, and just like basically make a pass and just kind of coat everything and get a quick buzz by, and then it leaves enough on there to thoroughly lather your hair.
Yeah, no, it really does. I was so surprised the first time I used it. I was like, oh, that was really simple. And it's really, like, it lathered up really well. And I didn't feel like, I had to skimp on the shampoo or whatever. No, it felt amazing. And then I got out of the shower and my hair dried and I was like, oh my God, I love this. I have to buy this for forever.
I will say, because I'm a boring, like, suave shampoo guy. I'm a guy who I use a 3-in-1 hair body conditioner.
My God, if they made a 12-in-1, you'd fucking use that.
I use a 3-in-1, body wash, shampoo, and conditioner. And this stuff was pretty cool.
I love it.
Never mind that it worked really well, but also that my hair still, like 2 weeks later, is a lot softer.
Yeah,
it's like really fluffy.
I've been using it since we got back.
Yeah, to a degree, it kind of sucks because I'm a guy and now my hair is all fluffy and light. But
I love it. I've been using it since we got back, and I actually, like you said, when we were in San Antonio, they have a Lush store. Now, at one point, one of the boys filled up my little holding tin because I've got the little box to keep it in. They filled it up with water, and by the time I got to it, the whole puck had kind of disintegrated. Not the whole thing, but the puck had kind of disintegrated a little, and there was little bits of seaweed floating around. I was like, shit, this thing is ruined. I'm not going to be able to use it ever again. And we just bought it. I've only used it once. I was so pissed. I poured out the water that was standing in the box, and I was like, all right, well, we'll see what happens. Well, the next day, we ended up my sister-in-law and I ended up going shopping and getting our nails done. And there was a Lush store in the mall. So I was like, you know what? I'm here. It's right next to where we're getting our nails done. I'm going to go ahead and buy another one just in case. Turned out by the time we got back to her place that it was fine. It was still usable. It was smaller.
Yeah.
But
I mean, and the fact that it sat there probably all night.
A few hours.
Yeah, several hours, almost disintegrating in the tin.
Yeah. It wasn't all night. It was a few hours because it was after you had given the boys a bath and then when I went to the bathroom.
Yeah. It was like the consistency of a soft soap.
Pretty much. So I thought it was completely gone and ruined. When this thing is supposed to last 60 to 80 washes.
Yeah. This is supposed to be... There's supposed to be more shampoo in this thing than there is in a bottle of shampoo. It's like, that's 60 to 80 washes is somewhere in the vicinity. If you wash your hair every day, that's almost 3 months. Yeah, that's 2 to 3 months. And you're not supposed to wash your hair every single day.
Right.
So this is... You could say this as much as like a 6 month supply of shampoo, depending on your washing.
Right. Well, which is why I thought it was going to be perfect for vacation because I would be using it, you would be using it, the boys would be using it. Yeah. It was going to be great. And it's a solid shampoo. It's like a little hockey puck shaped bar of soap.
So we don't have the worry of shampoo spilling all over the bag.
Exactly.
Which has happened to us almost every time.
It really has. Even if you put it in its own little Ziploc bag or whatever, it's still a mess. It still sucks. It's still gross. Blech.
Even if it just leaks inside a plastic bag, you still now have a bottle of shampoo covered in shampoo in a bag to deal with.
Exactly.
It's a mess.
It's a mess. So this was
I have to stop because I realize we're not getting paid to talk about this product.
Totally not getting paid.
We're making no money. This is just we found this awesome thing that really helped on our trip and highly recommend this. It works for normal time, but if you're going on a vacation, this is absolutely a wonderful plan.
It really is. And they have a bunch of different kinds. They don't just have this. They have all kinds of different ones for sensitive scalp, for colored hair, for fucking everything. Yeah. And I was there and I was smelling all of them, and there was one that was really gross. I don't remember what, but I knew which one I was there for. But oh my God, totally get this if you are planning on going on a vacation.
So we've got 2 of those now, right?
Yeah, we have 2 because the other one was still usable, which is the one that I'm using. And then we have the new one that I bought. So I'm super excited to have those.
Got like a year of shampoo now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because as much as that stuff is awesome, I use my stuff.
Which is fine because I love it. So and I'm going to use it. You. But yeah, just so many little things added up to this being a very successful vacation.
Yeah. I mean, seaweed hockey puck included.
Oh, and it doesn't leave seaweed in your hair for anybody who's wondering about that. It doesn't.
I did brush out seaweed from my hair. You do rinse your hair, right? So even if it did leave seaweed in your hair when you're washing your hair, you're rinsing your hair out, right? Right. So if you're doing a good job rinsing your hair, then it shouldn't leave seaweed. Now, to be fair, I have longer...
You have very, very thick,
thick, dense, long hair. I have longer hair than you do.
Yeah, and their water pressure wasn't quite what our water pressure is here.
Exactly. Their second floor apartment, we're ground level. We're in the valley, so we're sub-ground level, high water pressure.
Yeah.
So... if we were at home, it probably would be just sandblasted or whatever, blasted the whatever out. And they had, second floor apartment water pressure, so it's not as strong. And so it didn't rinse everything out. And I brushed a few seaweed flakes out of my hair after I was done. Oh well. You're brushing your hair and rinsing it right, so it's not a problem.
Yeah. But overall, totally awesome product.
Yeah. Great
product. Worth the price. I
worth the 10 minutes we've spent talking about shampoo.
True. It's true. Although I did have, and I guess I'll admit to
I was going to let it go, but
our listenership.
You mentioned you were blonde sometimes.
I am blonde sometimes. So I was so excited about this solid shampoo idea. Oh my God, this is amazing. I wonder if they make other things. I don't want to have to take a thing of body wash on the trip. Wouldn't it be amazing if I could find a solid body wash? Let me look for this. So I pick up my phone and I type in Google solid body wash. And then I hit enter. and it pulled up pictures of soap. Oh, yeah. Soap.
I was going to let that go, too. I haven't let it go since it happened.
Soap is what I wanted.
I've been rubbing in this particular...
Rubbing it in? Like soap?
Yeah, I've been rubbing in this particular blonde moment since it happened. But I was going to let it go for...
I couldn't even, I couldn't even with myself.
I can't even. Yeah.
I could not even.
Yeah. I was going to at least leave you the impression of brain cells remaining with the listenership.
Rude.
But, you just had to go full bleach blonde on that one.
Sometimes, man.
I know. I have those moments too, but it's like I'd say I don't share those moments with my listeners, but I do, but that's because I'm a bit more open on, with my severely limited listenership.
I mean, you want to know the real me, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's the point of this. We are being real. We don't really filter. So,
yeah, and the boys had an amazing time. They really liked the zoo. They really liked, of course, the splash pad that we went to. Well, it was closed.
The park that we
went to in San Antonio. I mean, fuck, the adults loved it.
Yeah.
It was like this rope course / trampoline crap. This was like a park to train Ninja Warrior on in the middle of San Antonio. Basically.
And so, of course, and yeah, I think it said, it was supposed to be like kids up to 12. But, I was the only adult you and I were the only adults not on this.
Only because I had to sit with Sammy, not that I would have done it anyway. Yeah. But I was sitting with Sammy because he was asleep in his car seat and you were chasing Bug.
I was running around with Bug, but... Yeah. He was all of the adults
were climbing up. And
all of the uncles and aunties and everybody else was climbing all over this stuff. And
it was really cool, and I wish the splash park would have been open.
And Mikey trying to jump that thing and failing. Epically failing. It was a really fun time. Even without splash pad there, it was still a fun time.
Yeah, but I mean the kids had a really good time with everything that we did.
Yeah. The only part of the entire trip they did not like was the driving.
Yeah.
They were so miserable in the van.
Yeah. And I mean, we tried to alleviate that. We had the DVD players, but there's only so much you can do when you're driving.
Yeah.
There really is. And people will say, oh, well, why didn't you get them coloring books and this and that and that?
Didn't work.
We've done it. I mean, this is our 6th time doing this. I kind of know...
We've tried
my
everything.
Kids are.
It's just not.
We've tried, and usually the colors just end up lost under the seats, or they color on the van, which they did in a rental.
They did that to the rental last year, and I spent a lot of time having to clean the walls of that rental van.
Yeah. So it's those things just don't work. Maybe when they're a little bit older and...
When they're older and we could theoretically give them like a little video game thing, or if they have a tablet or a phone or something where we can like, here, play some games, watch a movie, something, you can entertain yourself, and we feel you're mature enough to do that. Not, Charlie's 6 going on 7, and yeah, I know there are a lot of parents that do that and that have kids that have tablets and it's like, we aren't those parents.
No. And I refuse to be.
He will be a teenager before he has his own electronic device.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he doesn't even have like a Game Boy or anything like that. Oh God, Game Boy. Ooh, do they still make those?
Yeah, that's not technically called the Game Boy anymore. It's the DS.
Okay. Shit.
I don't think they've used... I can't remember when they stopped using the Game Boy name.
I don't know. But you know what I'm talking about. Like the little handheld.
It's still... Even a DS is still a Game Boy. I don't care what anybody says. It's a Game Boy.
He doesn't have any of that, and I don't feel that he needs it.
No.
He's a very smart kid. He doesn't need to not dumb himself down, but just sit there and basically stare at a screen the whole time.
Although it might keep him quiet just because, left to his own devices, he does not shut up.
Talk. He loves his voice.
Yes. I've considered doing a show of just, what's Charlie going to say today? Here, Mike.
Pretty much. Oh
he could go for...
You'd have, like...
It'd be a marathon.
Years of material.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this is the kid who, no joke, grabbed his own little canvas bag and asked Mommy, what books can I take?
Yeah.
Wanted to take books.
He thoroughly loves to read.
He loves it, which I'm over the moon.
Even more full of books when we came back.
I know, yeah. My stepmom gave us a lot of books, which is why we really need to get a bookshelf.
Yeah.
But and I'm over the moon with that. I don't want to. Yeah. I don't want to break that at all. It's like, you want to read? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I will let you take books.
He loves reading. He enjoys his electronic games. He enjoys video games and things like that.
Yeah, no, he does.
But he does. He is a kid who can sit there and enjoy himself just reading a book, or enjoy himself reading to his brothers, which I like trying to get him to do. To like, here's a book you like. Hey, read to Bug.
Oh, he reads to Damien every night.
Yeah, he'll read to Damien. It's like they share a room. He reads to Damien.
He reads to Damien every night. He sits on his bed and he reads him his book, and then they go get in their own beds. Sometimes they just fall asleep together.
Sometimes they swap. Sometimes they end up in the same bed, whatever. But
he reads to him every night.
Yeah.
So
he enjoys reading, and he's a good kid that way.
Yeah.
He just doesn't want to shut up.
God. But it's hard to entertain the others. You've got a 2-year-old who doesn't want to just sit for 18 hours.
Yeah.
And plus, I understand car seats aren't comfortable. They're not meant to be cushy. They're not, a lazy boy. Yeah. So I get it, but...
Sam isn't a fan of his car seat either.
No, and he never has been.
He never has been. I mean, yeah, he's not that old and he doesn't spend a lot of time in his car seat, but realistically, the only time he really spends in that car seat is the drive during the day, go take Charlie to school, pick Charlie up from school, and maybe trips to the grocery store.
Right.
He does not spend a lot of time in that chair.
No, all of the boys are always up and running. He spends most of his day in his walker.
Yeah, he's running around playing with his brothers. Now that he's able to use his walker, he's doing that.
Yeah.
He loves being in his walker and running around and playing with his brothers, getting to participate.
Yeah. So our boys aren't the sit still, entertain yourself, stare out the window and play the license plate game kind of kids. I'm
going to run around the house screaming and yelling, and we're going to grab this toy and this toy and this toy, and we're going to make up a game that's going to span every room in the house.
Or we're going to give Mommy a heart attack and joust with the floor lamp in the living room.
That was yesterday, huh?
That was yesterday.
That was yesterday while I was out of town.
I was on the phone with my mother. I had to yell while I was on the phone with her, "Do not joust with the floor lamp." What? They're jousting with the floor lamp.
And that's not even a moment. That's
not even the weird shit that I shouldn't have to say in this house. Like that's just something that happens.
Yeah, that's just something that's a normal thing that happens around here.
But yeah, so that's why, we would stop at the rest stops and literally just let them run. There was one that had like a gazebo out back connected to the rest of the rest stop, like the restroom area. So I did. I was like, okay, y'all get out.
Oh yeah, the one
I'm going to stand right here. The gazebo's over there.
Like up a hill. And
up a hill, maybe like 20 yards away, if that. Run back and forth on the sidewalk from the gazebo to the restrooms. Just run.
And everybody's like, yeah, 1, 2, 3, go. And just would run and run and run and run and run. Even Bug. And Bug was,
Bug.
Yeah, his tiny little legs.
He's trying so hard.
But he was having a blast. But every time they were coming downhill, I was convinced that one of them was going to fall and bust their ass.
Faceplant.
I expected, especially Damien does not do anything halfway. He runs full force.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Him running on flat ground, you think he's going to fall and just smash his face. So him running downhill, I was like, we're going to scrape him off of the sidewalk. Yeah. Bug is going to trip. Like, Bug is not the most coordinated.
Bug is not coordinated, especially in shoes. You put that boy in shoes and he's like the guy in Birdcage. I cannot wear shoes.
I cannot wear shoes because they make me fall down. He is Agador in shoes.
He is definitely Agador.
But him in shoes, running down a hill, and he was wearing some pretty baggy jeans, and I was like, oh, he's going to fall. He's going to tumble down his whole hill. What the hell are you doing? I was watching nervously.
Yeah, but they need that break every now and then, every few hours, just to run that energy off, because otherwise they are horrible in the car.
Yeah.
So we did. We'd have to do that, and that's really the only relief that they get.
Yeah.
And that's the only time they get to be
on
kids.
The return trip. Getting to do that.
Yeah. So, I don't know. If you guys have any suggestions for itty-bitty kid-friendly, road trip activities that aren't anything that we've already mentioned, thank you. Send them our way, because we've got quite a while.
Hit us up on Facebook at Mom and Dad Cuss.
Mom and Dad Cuss at gmail.com. Because, it'd be nice to find something that doesn't make
what haven't we tried? Or
what haven't we tried? Or, what will help us not go crazy next year?
Yeah. Or, hey, that's a great idea. Even that's a cool thing. Hey, where do you get that? I think I'm going to post up the links to Lush and some pictures of the shampoo hockey pucks.
Definitely.
Because and again, we're not being paid for that. We aren't
being paid for any of this. The Visa gift cards that I mentioned, none of it.
Man, if Visa were paying us, holy shit. Visa or the bank or Lush or anybody, any of y'all can just volunteer to pay us. It's cool.
Right?
Totally cool with me.
Oh, and we did I was super happy because out here our grocery store does double fuel points.
Yeah.
They do like the fuel points, and then over the summer you can do double fuel points.
Yeah.
So we did that, and we stockpile our credit card rewards, and every year we cash out for a gift card to Shell, so gas card. So we did that. And we used our double fuel points and the gas card to kind of help us.
Like our first gas for the road was kind of padded.
Yeah.
But still,
Hashtag pro tips.
Yeah. But we came back, and I think that's the best thing. We stayed on budget. We've never stayed on budget. We've always had this is how much we've got, but we always kept it in the bank account. We're like, okay, this is what we have to spend.
Which is so hard to do because you think about it, and you've got little $5 charges here for food when we stopped at the gas station, or, maybe a $30 charge when we had to go to Walmart, and you got to keep track of all of these and shit, how much have we already spent, whatever.
Yeah.
The gift cards
we saved every receipt.
The gift cards were a miracle because usually when you get the receipt, it tells you at the very bottom how much is left.
Yeah.
Or like with the Visa gift cards that we got from the bank, you could just type in the card number and log in online.
It would tell you. Yeah.
And it would tell you. And it was like, oh, this is so
have a running
beautiful.
Balance. Okay, this is what we have left. But every other trip we've been fortunate that our parents have always kind of, hey, here's a little bit of money for gas.
Yeah.
And every other trip we've needed it.
We've had to have it
to get home.
Yeah.
And this trip, we came back and we hadn't touched it.
No, it's
that was the best feeling in the world. We were able to stash that money and save it.
Yep.
We came back and we still had about $40 left on one of the cards.
I know. We were like, yay, we can fill up both of the cars for the week.
We came back under budget. Holy hell.
Yeah.
With all the stuff we did, we still came back this trip under budget. That was the best feeling in the world, with a tighter budget than we've ever had for a trip.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, again, successful vacation all around. Best successful vacation ever.
Where's the applause for...
Where's the applause button?
I mean, this
applause
vacation,
button.
we totally deserved
applause.
it. Yay!
Applause.
Yay, hashtag vacation 2016.
Yes. Okay.
So, and hopefully we can replicate a lot of it for next year. And like I said, we stayed really reasonable within our budget. Yeah. We did do our hotel room had a kitchenette, so we bought groceries for the week and had,
Another great pro tip. It's a little more for a suite, but yeah, if you got a family, get the suite with a kitchenette if you're going to use a hotel, because
totally worth it.
What you save from going out to eat all the time
it balances out.
It way balances out. The cost of a suite with a kitchenette is a lot lower than
eating out
every day.
Yep.
You think 3 meals a day, every day for the duration of your trip.
For 6 people.
Just not even like a family of 6, but if you're anybody, because what are you going to spend? Like $10 a person?
About
how many meals?
$5 to $10 a person for 3 meals a day.
You're not going to spend more than the difference, like $20, $30 more a night to get one of those suites. Really?
Yeah.
It's not that much more to get a room like that.
Yeah.
So it's worth the expense.
Absolutely.
It really is. It more than saves at the end of the trip.
Absolutely. And I did see one pro tip that we may kind of risk it and try. I don't know. To bring a crock pot and cook on the road.
I still don't like, I don't like the idea of, no, I don't want to cook.
But because even if you just take a crock pot and have it for your hotel room, then that's cool
a better
too.
idea. But we've got the little DC plug in the back of the van. So we could actually plug a crock pot into the back of the van and be cooking on the road. I'm not going to have a hot crock pot in the back of the van with suitcases around it. I'm just saying.
Well, and so even if you don't get a suite with a kitchenette, take a crock pot because
that'd be helpful anyway. Yeah.
You could make everything. Like there are recipes on Pinterest up and down.
Just take a crock pot and Pinterest the shit out of your recipes.
Yeah, and if you take those crock pot liners, then you don't even have to worry about cleanup.
Yep.
Because you can make a breakfast in there overnight. You can have like oatmeal cooking overnight.
Yeah.
Throw out the bag. All right, let's start lunch.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not going to be here for lunch. And I'm going out because I'm in a hotel. I'm not going to be here all day. And go out and have your lunch, but start your dinner or whatever.
Exactly.
There's crockpot pizza. There's crockpot mac and cheese. There's crockpot every damn thing you can consider.
There's fucking crockpot everything.
So you can crockpot just about every meal.
Kid-friendly stuff too. So definitely take a crockpot if you can't get a kitchenette.
And it's just in the long, and it's just one of those. It's a cost-saving tip because if you're really going to be economical. Did I say it right the first time? I don't know.
I don't think it was English.
But you probably have a crockpot.
Yeah. Now, I will say the hotel that we stayed at didn't have free breakfast, which kind of sucked, but
because we had the kitchenette.
We had a kitchenette.
We had a kitchenette. We were still eating normal breakfast every day. We were having
cereal.
We were having cereal. We were having our coffee and bagels and all. We were having normal breakfast.
Yeah.
We cooked spaghetti and garlic bread and all this stuff in the hotel.
Yeah. But again, pro tip, if you can't get a room with a kitchenette, for whatever reason, you can't afford it.
Crockpot.
Whatever. Get a crock pot and then make sure you stay at a hotel that has the breakfast.
Yeah.
Then all you have to worry about is lunch and dinner.
Yeah.
And you've got your crock pot.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely.
Cost saving tip. This show went from, Mom and Dad Cuss to
Mom and Dad are helping everybody out.
We're helping you out on vacation. That's a helping you out on vacation pro tips this week. Okay. So we've gone way over. We've gone way beyond what we expected because we really were expecting this to be a much shorter show.
Maybe
this week.
We can cut this up into part 1 and part 2 if we can find a good little segue.
Yeah, it's going to be
maybe
stuff from the vacation and pro tips. No, I like because we interject and we have it. It makes sense within the conversation.
Yeah, no, it does. But, and this one, this is a good. This is a good pro tip show because, this is...
lessons we learned on this vacation.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. This was our most successful vacation, and if you have a family, or even if you don't, use some of the tips that we gave you, and I swear your next vacation is going to be so much easier.
Yeah.
It really is.
It saves a lot, and saving money on the foundation of a vacation just gives you more money to have fun later.
Yep.
It's it. The less you have to spend on little things, the more you can spend on the fun things.
Exactly.
So, that being said... I said that. So that was being said. We have reached that lovely portion of the show where we bring up the weird shit that our kids say.
You mean the more
weird shit
that our kids say? Because, jousting with the floor lamp wasn't already.
Jousting with the floor lamp was already there. But...
And yes, we do still have 4 children after that incident. It was questionable for a little bit, but they're okay.
Does this sound effect work for this?
No, that's too Twilight Zone-y.
Too Twilight Zone. Okay. But it is the weird shit that we have to say in this house. I think that works. It's a weird sound. Twilight Zone is weird. Do you want to go first?
No,
floor lamps?
You go ahead. I'm still reeling from fucking floor lamps.
Floor lamps. Okay. And this is something and again, most of these, you end up texting me these things half the time. But I remember, this was this morning actually, now that I remember it. You were talking to Damien, and you've listened to this show. I mean, this is episode 10, which is big breakthrough. It's 10. We're in double digits.
Yay!
But in the last 10 episodes, if you haven't figured out that Damien is fucking nuts.
He's the weird one.
He's a monster. He's crazy.
He's the odd one of the group.
He's very odd. Now, he is the most lovable little guy, and he will probably actually love you to death.
Like, literally.
He will probably bear hug you until you die just because he loves you so much and he's so sweet.
Or he's the one who was filled as a younger kid. We'll say like a year ago.
When he was like 1 or 2
well, like maybe 2 or 3. He was filled with so much emotion and was just so excited and so happy and so, bursting with love, and was so happy that we were home that he would run up and bite us.
Yeah.
That was him expressing his love.
He was so happy that you were home from work that he would run up and chomp into your leg. So, refresher on Damien.
No beware of dog. Beware of Damien.
Beware of Damien. To which, just his general behavior today led to the wonderful comment that I have to share. Which told our so interesting second child, I think I may have drummed on your head too much.
Well, okay.
Which we always have to
let me break this
add context.
Let me break this down and add some context here.
Pregnancy. That's the context.
When I was pregnant with Damien, he was fucking huge. When he was born, he was 9 pounds, 10.5 ounces. Holy freaking shit.
And again, Rihanna, 4'10"
and a half.
And a half.
So, and he was breech. So that means that his head was up in my ribs instead of the other way around. And when you're pregnant, you just kind of, rest your hands on your stomach. It's like the pregnant woman pose. It's what you do.
For all of you dads out there who haven't been pregnant and aren't paying attention to your wives because you're apparently stereotypical men, or at least what people think are stereotypical men. Sorry.
But
all the moms and the wives out there know exactly what you're talking about. I have to explain this for the guys who weren't paying attention.
Right. But it's just, that normal little pose that you do with your hands on your, pregnant stomach. Well, I would kind of drum right there where your hands sit, and that's where his head was.
Which incidentally, when he was a baby,
oh my God.
When he would get really squirmy or was very restless, she literally could sit there and drum on his head gently. She'd sit there and be finger tapping and finger drumming on his head, and he would calm down so quickly.
Instantly.
Oh my God.
He was used to
you drumming on his head so much.
I kind of feel like is why babies like to be patted on the butt whenever you're rocking them.
That's probably it.
Because,
it at least gives us evidence to that.
It's like it's like a thing. You just kind of pat your stomach.
You're sitting there patting your stomach, and if the kid is positioned normally, you're sitting there patting their butt.
Yeah.
And when they're, after they're born, you patting their butt is a comforting feeling for them.
I guess. Somebody needs to do the science and find this out for us, because Damien liked to be tapped on his head.
If you want to do this research study, let us know, momandadcuss@gmail.com.
No, I don't want to mess up anybody else's kids. Have you met ours?
But Damien is evidence to this.
But today I was like, you know what? I think I may have drummed a little too much on your head. Because he's an odd little duck.
But that brings us to dinner tonight.
Oh?
Was that at dinner tonight? Yes. No, it was at lunch. The other...
Sorry.
Our other comment.
Midnight.
It's not midnight. It's almost 10. Anyway.
It's almost midnight. I'm tired.
In Texas, it's almost midnight. You and almost. Damien gave me the same almost as you earlier. I was like, are you going to say, make your bed? I was like, I'm almost done. You have nothing on your bed.
It's just a mattress.
Your bed is completely stripped. You have a blanket in your hand. I was like, your bed is almost done.
We're glass half full people.
You're one drop of milk in the glass and said it's almost full. He did not have a damn thing on his bed and said it was almost done. And
we're not so much glass half full people as I'm almost done with this one. Can you bring me another when you just set that one down?
Yeah. I was like, that's like me. It's like, I just took everything out for dinner. That's like me saying dinner's almost ready when I haven't started cooking yet. I just took the ingredients out.
Or like the women that I know, not going to name any names,
Susan, Jenny, Joanne, I'm just randomly naming names.
Who say, yeah, we're on our way when they haven't even walked out the door.
Oh, fuck, God, I hate that. I'm almost there. You are still in your damn garage. Why? I'm in your front yard.
Creeper.
I know you didn't leave yet, you lying piece of...
Wow. Sorry. Yeah, that's the kind of almost I operate on. A little bit too much. That's okay.
That's your almost. And that's now Damien's almost.
It's now Damien's almost. Oh, gosh.
I don't think we need another moment of that.
No.
That was two good stories for the evening.
All right, everybody.
Thank you for tuning in this evening.
It is now officially
bedtime. Just gotta beat the shit out of your Fitbit.
My Fitbit didn't light up. It's 9:45. I'm old. I gotta go to bed. I'm not old. I'm only gonna be 25 this year. But I gotta go to bed.
I'm gonna call your dad next week and put him on the show and just hold the phone up. Hey, please, Dad, how old is Rihanna again?
He said horrible things to me today.
That you weren't.
No, he said that I'm almost 30.
He called you almost 30. That was great.
Horrible. That means I've got to go buy wine and yoga pants.
We have both of those right now. You have yoga pants and you have wine in the fridge. You're almost 30. Almost 30.
But I gotta go to bed.
You gotta go to bed. So, remember everybody. Again, email us.
Remember?
I remember. I do this.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, you're just tired because you're old. You're almost 30.
Hey, Pot. I want you to meet my friend Kettle. Y'all have a lot in common.
I'm not almost 30. I passed that a couple of years ago. But anyway.
Call me old.
Mother of 4, you officially are old even if you're... What?
Rude.
Mother of 4.
Rude.
You're old by default.
Rude. I had kids at a very young age.
Okay. So, if you want to sponsor this research study...
No! We're not doing this! This will mess up kids for life. No!
Or have more of your own road trip vacation fun tips to share. Pro tips to share. Because those were fun. I like that. We need more pro tips for
parenting pro tips.
Parenting pro tips. This is our new segment, Parenting Pro Tips.
PTs.
I don't know. That sounds odd. Anyway, email us at momanddadcuss@gmail.com.
Or Facebook.
Or on Facebook at momanddadcuss. And we just pester you with that. We'll leave me out of that one.
Okay.
And remember, you can catch all of the other episodes, and maybe we'll throw some other stuff up there at momanddadcuss@blogspot.com. And until next week, I'm Adam.
I'm Rihanna. I'm tired.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.